You know, when Russia invaded Ukraine, McDonald's made one big move. Like after 32 years in Russia, they shut down every outlet. For some, it feels like a business choice, right? But for others, it feels like the whole entire era is ended. Those golden arches that once stood for globalization, hope, freedom to just eat the same burger anywhere in the world, suddenly became a symbol of withdrawal, of moral stance. Because in today's world, brand morality isn't just marketing, it's a currency. And the exchange rate changes with politics. Last time, you all thought that the world is just one big market, right? You make in China, you sell in America, you count your profits in London. Simple, right? But until things started to break, trade wars, sanction, COVID, suddenly the whole borderless world, whole idea was exposed. When US banned Huawei from using American chips, right? The brand's global empire crashed almost overnight. Apple also learned the hard way. And so now, they quietly shift factories to India and Vietnam. Diversify lah, just in case. The moral of the story is that globalization was built on convenience, not on loyalty. Once politics enter into the chat, even $1 trillion brand can't even stay neutral. In the old days, brand can just run away from politics. Now, silence is also a statement. You know, after Ukraine's invasion, Coca-Cola took their time to decide. Within days, social media exploded. Boycott Coke everywhere. Suddenly, every brand kena forced to choose. Take a stand or take a hit. Today, people don't just ask what you sell anymore. They ask what you stand for. And if your answer is blur or too slow, the internet will give you one. Usually, not in your favor. But in geopolitics, it's not just about war and sanctions. It's also about who tells the best story. You know, you look at Korea, Samsung, BTS, K-beauty, even their dramas. They turn culture into strategy. Same for Japan. Anime, Toyota, Muji, all part of how the world imagines Japan. And of course US, from Netflix to Nike, has been exporting dreams from decades. When Squid Game blew up in Netflix, that wasn't just entertainment, that was influence. Every brand that travel carries a bit of home in it. Now, the new borders, they're invisible. They're made of code, not concrete. You know, TikTok became the world's most downloaded app. And suddenly government say national security threat. Europe came up with GDPR, basically telling big tech, oi, respect our data or get out. America, China, Europe, they're not just trading goods anymore. They're fighting for digital influence. Data is a new territory. Whoever controls data controls desire. That's why every swipe, every click, every watch, you think is free, but it's actually power transfer. But being moral, there's a price for it. When Nike backed somebody called Colin Kaepernick, American clapped, but China really didn't support it. When H&M questioned about the forced labor in Xinjiang, boom, disappeared from Chinese e-commerce overnight. The virtue is here, the villain is there. It's all relatives, depending on whose flag you're standing under. A brand's ethic now can't just be written in CSR report. It's on display, live, 24/7. And consumers, don't forget, they screenshot. In geopolitics, even ethics are commodities. Virtue can sell or sink, depending when you're selling. So, where do brands go from here? The next generation of global companies must act like diplomats. Careful with words, sensitive to culture, fast to adapt. Every campaign now is foreign policy statement. Every product launch now is a negotiation between values and markets. The world is no longer one audience. It's many realities stitched together by algorithms. To thrive, brands must understand not just what people buy, but what they believe in. Because in this century, it's about knowing where you stand. And sometimes, the price of virtue is everything else.